everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you days 29 and 30 of the Artist Trading Card a Day Challenge, hashtag ATC a Day 2018. That was a June challenge. I know it's July now. This is the last two cards that were made in June. I just didn't have time to fit them all in video form into June. So today is the 4th of July, and I say happy 4th of July to those of you in America who are celebrating Independence Day. I hope you're having a barbecue and a good time out in the sunshine. So for day 29, I wanted to play with some Tattered Angels products and Seven Gypsies products. I am I don't know what they call it now, an old-time member of the design team for Canvas Corp Brands, which has those two companies under the umbrella, and I thought, I should use their products in a ATC, just their products. So I started out with this card, which already had some textured paper on it. And this was sent to me by someone in Happy Mail. I've been trying to use up my Happy Mail and not succeeding at all. But it had this interesting crinkled paper texture that I thought would be really cool with some of the Tattered Angels paints, because when they go on there, they help bring out the texture. So I used some different baseboard paints. I think I used cardboard color, grass color, ivory. I don't know what else. And then I think I used a couple chalkboards as well. Priority, which is kind of a rusty color. So the difference between the baseboard and the chalkboard is that they're both kind of a matte opaque, but then the chalkboard has glimmer in it as well. So it's not glimmer mist like those really translucent ones with the glimmer. It's more of a opaque mist, but still has glimmer. So they have a lot of different formulations of paints in Tattered Angels, not just the glimmer mist. I know the glimmer mist is the most popular, but they do have other ones, and I actually prefer the baseboards most often because they're not shimmery, and I can use them as kind of a regular matte paint. So then I also used some, what color was it? Camel Glimmer Glaze. Spilled half of it on my desk. Yeah, these things do happen. These last 2 days of this challenge, before I was traveling, I was in a hurry and I was maybe a little bit careless. But anyway, I spilled half of it on the desk. But that's okay. I tore off a piece of the paper and decided to use it on my card to commemorate that I had spilled it. Just so I can remember if I keep this ATC. And then I also wanted to use some of these rub-ons. If you don't ever buy anything from Seven Gypsies, I really recommend these rub-ons. They are so nice. They are on a parchment paper, and they come off beautifully. You don't have that problem of them sticking to everything and half coming off. Even on this very textured paper, I was still able to put those rub-ons right on there. So, I think they're one of their very best products. They're just awesome. Really love them. And I have this little tag from one of their ephemera sets, and I will look up which one it is if I can find it. I just have random things in a box, and I'm not sure which thing goes to what. I try to sometimes keep them in the packages, but sometimes I get like a scrap kit. They have scrap kits at Canvas Corp Brands, and then you just get a lot of different stuff, and you're not sure which thing it came from. So if you really are into this fancy skeleton key, I'll try to look up the paper pack it came from. So another fun thing about the mists is you can do edging really easily by taking them out and using the straw as an edging tool, or also splattering. That's a great thing about inks and mists, is that they splatter really well if you take the lid off and use that straw section. You don't have to use a paintbrush or anything. So I added some, that color Admiral is like a very, very dark, almost black blue. And I added that around the edges and splatters, and then I added some ivory splatters as well. And then I'm attaching my little tag. I put some of the jute twine through the tag because it's a tag. It has a hole, so I thought it needed something in the hole. So I put a little bit of that jute twine, which coordinates with these colors that I was using very well. These are kind of the naturals, type colors. And where I got the color scheme from, that the colors that I wanted to use are actually that thing that you see on the right that I'll be using in a second. It's from Seven Gypsies Architectures line, and they have these things. They're called their architectures, and what they did was they took old cool stuff and they took photos of it, and then they made them into these 3D stickers. So these little glass bottles really look like glass bottles. They're shiny. They have the tech, they have that visual texture of being a little bit dirty or aged or whatever. They just look like something you would collect. Pretty glass bottles that you might set on the windowsill or something. They really, really, really look like that, and they have a texture as well. You can feel them. So I put those across the card, and then that finished up my little Day 29 card with Tattered Angels, Seven Gypsies, Canvas Corp Brands products. So Day 30, I wanted to go patriotic because I already had everything scheduled, and I knew that this video would be on the 4th of July. I knew that I was making the card on the 30th, but that the 4th of July would be the day that the video would come out. So I decided to go with some things that my friend Peg sent me in Happy Mail. She sent me some of these 4th of July napkins, and I decided to use that as my base. And I'm using the vinyl ATCs from By Shannon Green Etsy shop, made out of fused vinyl, recycled fused vinyl. Interesting stuff. I'm still playing with it to see what all you can do with it, but I think I like it. I think I'm gonna get some more of these. Gonna have to go to her Etsy shop and buy some more. I do have a couple of the custom keepers that I still haven't decorated, but I'm still just kind of, trying out different stuff. How does collage work? How does different types of paints and inks work on this material? So this time I'm doing napkin collage, and I've put some fluid matte medium on there and then laid the napkin into it, and I'm pressing it down with a baby wipe as I dry it to get any little bubbles and wrinkles out. I found that that works pretty well, and it keeps your hands less sticky than sticky. My hand was already sticky because I stuck my fingers in the matte medium, but sometimes as the matte medium starts to get tacky on your finger, then it pulls things back up if you try to push your finger on it. So if you take a slightly moist baby wipe and press down, it works better. So I still felt that this needed another coat. It seemed like it might peel off. So I put another coat of matte medium over the top of it and gave it another dry just to make sure it was good and stuck onto the vinyl piece. And then I decided it was a little bit too not red, white, and blue enough, because it's all about red, white, and blue on the 4th of July. That Stars and Stripes forever, let freedom ring, the whole thing. So for those of you who are my friends from other countries, you're like, what are you talking about? But if you're one of my American fans, you know what I'm talking about. It's all about the red, white, and blue. So I decided to do some glazing. So I used glazing medium and then the lapis and ruby colors of acrylic paint from Dina Wakley. And I spread those over the top of, on the top and on the bottom, and then kind of use that same baby wipe to pat in the middle to get kind of that halo of white in the middle. And I think that looks really cool. I really enjoyed that step. Then I added some white splatters just to bring up, the idea of fireworks that we always have on 4th of July, splatters of light. And then I went around the edge with the manganese blue archival ink just to give it a frame, a border, which is something that I enjoy. Then I have these stickers and this necklace that Peg also sent me in the same package. That's I think she got all these things from the dollar store, and she just sent me, if when you buy something at the dollar store, you get a lot, and then you have a lot, and then you're like, well, I'm going to share some of this. So, especially things like napkins. And I had seen these stickers when she was using them on one of our live shows, the one that we had stars a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, those are the coolest stickers ever. They look like metal, but they're not metal. They're actually plastic, kind of like a puffed plastic sticker. Super cool. I really like them. You know, just because it's called an artist trading card doesn't mean you have to draw. You can um, do collage and assembly and even use stickers or stamps or whatever you want on these little cards. So I decided to use one of these metallic looking stickers that Peg sent me. I changed I changed it around and moved it around so many times trying to get the way I liked the composition and I couldn't quite. I did finally settle on one, but it ended up having the star off slightly, so I had to trim it. But I decided to use also some of these Mardi Gras beads that she sent, which are star shapes. And, um, oh boy, there's another big splotch. Yeah, I was using my Mod Podge Dimensional Magic glue to glue these on. And the bottle is having trouble and it's got clogginess. And, I keep trying to clean it out. And I got a big splodge on there. So what do? Well, I know that I've got a matte background, but now I have this humongous amount of shiny stuff on there. So I decided to just go ahead and spread the shiny all over, and now the card background is all shiny. It is as if I used gloss medium instead of matte, and that's how I solved that little uh, potential disaster. So then I glued the beads on there. Next thing I did was to get out a little bit of alcohol ink and add some blue in one of the grooves that it's textured sticker, so I could just roll it around in there. And then I added some red as well. And my final things were to unify all the different shiny stars with a little bit of gilding wax. That's the Inca Gold kind, just to make them all the same color and matte down those real shiny plastic ones. And then I also added some shadows with Faber-Castell pit pins at the end, and that was my very last card for the ATC A Day 2018 challenge. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you join us next year for 2019. I'm sure we'll do it. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on that notification bell so you know when a new fresh video comes out for you. And of course, if you know someone who'd be interested in any of these ATCs, be sure to share it with them or pin it to Pinterest or your Facebook, because all those things really, really, really help me out to help my channel grow that's trying to get to 10,000. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.